Hello everyone, welcome back to the first lesson of this module. In this lesson, we will discuss what is grant review meeting, what are the objectives of conducting a grant review meeting, what are the reference materials we will need for this meeting, and finally, who should be involved in a grant review meeting. Definition of grant review meeting. There is no universal definition of grant review meetings, but it is a monitoring mechanism to ensure that grants are implemented in compliance with the contract. It is also a mechanism to practice active risk management. This means reviewing grants on an ongoing regular basis and identifying what risks come up in real time and addressing those risks in real time. This practice ensures that any issues off track are course corrected in almost real time and not at the end of the project. A grant review meeting is also a forum to discuss monitoring findings to ensure program implementation is going as planned. Questions we might ask are we on track? Are we lagging behind? What are the challenges and decisive action points to recover and stay on course? Aims. To reiterate, the primary aim of conducting a grant review meeting is to identify the risks that are inherent to implementation and come up with mitigation strategies to ensure that the risk has very minimal adverse effects on the portfolio. The second aim is to monitor program implementation against the work plan. Every project that we implement has a work plan with timelines of what activities we need to do, when and how those activities are sequenced. This review meeting is to monitor implementation against that work plan to ensure that we are on track. Number 3 is to monitor budget spending. By the end of the project, we want to ensure monies granted to us from the donor are well spent and reported in our reports. Number 4 is to monitor target achievements. This monitoring is specific to target achievement as committed in our log frames. So if we are to achieve a certain number of targets within a certain period of time, then we look back at the actual and identify what the challenges are and how to address them. And finally, the aim is to provide the country or the program leadership with a summary of the performance of the grant and the associated risks and mitigations. Let's now look at the reference materials needed to conduct a grant review meeting. Grant review meetings require preparation and planning. Some reference materials will need to be collected before conducting a grant review meeting. Number 1 is the latest budget versus actual analysis, BVA. We need to look at the BVA on a monthly basis and understand it in order to provide commentary on any variance. The BVA reports must be collected from the finance team. Number 2 is an updated work plan or a project implementation plan that shows what has been implemented, what is pending, what is lagging behind. Number 3 is an updated monitoring and evaluation plan, which speaks to the log frame in terms of target achievements and also monitoring visits. Number 4 is a procurement plan. If we have a procurement-heavy project, we need to maintain a procurement plan and update it on a regular basis so that we know where we are in terms of procurement of goods and services reaching their respective destinations. Number 5 is the reporting schedule for planning purposes in order to ensure we are ready with necessary resources to develop and submit quality and timely reports. Number 6 is donor contract rules and regulations. We need to be aware of what are the donor rules and regulations for each grant, where we need prior authorizations and what key compliances attributes apply. And finally, there are the trip and mission report observations. Trip reports will be completed and maintained as part of the grant file and are key information sources in order to discuss challenges and come up with solutions. Next, let's look into who should be involved in a grant review meeting. At a minimum, these meetings should have the following in attendance: project manager or budget holder, finance representative, grant manager, meal focal, procurement focal, staff from logistics. They need to be invited to provide updates as needed. The country or program leadership may also sit in these meetings. So, before the meeting, we need to undertake the following preparations. Ensure that the right staff have this meeting booked in their calendars, preferably on recurring basis. Ensure we have the latest BVA with commentary on variance and notes on any financial errors, irregularities, or mispostings from transaction reports. Ensure our work plan or implementation plan, the procurement plan, monitoring evaluations plans are up to date. Ensure we have sub-grant files on hand and good understanding of sub-grantee implementation and challenges. If the grant is coming to an end, understanding of any closeout actions could be programmatic, human resource, and/or financial. So, this brings us to the end of this lesson. I hope that you have understood the basics of a grant review meeting. After the lesson, you will find a link to participate in the quiz to measure your learning. Please complete the quiz and continue your journey with us.